Hey, how's it going, guys? From Kansas City, my name is Jeremiah Nichol, aka JT Nichol on Reddit, and at ProDJKC on Twitter. And I normally don't make a post on a thread on Reddit, but yesterday I wrote this piece called "Massive Heap of Rhetoric, but It Needs to Be Said," and so. Just to give a little bit of background on myself, I like to write a little bit every now and then, and I'm a moderator on Reddit, on EthTrader, and EthInsider, and Ethereum artists, or Eth artists. And I love the community that we have, and I've been around for quite a while, and every now and then I like to write a piece or make a video. And I wanted to make a video in response to a lot of the comments that I saw down in this particular thread. It was an awesome read to see all the comments pouring in, and some people would label what I do is just I'm a perma bull, hope filled, hype artist or whatever. Okay, I guess if you have fallen through the trenches and you've climbed to the top and you've seen all the little bubbles in Ethereum's history and gone through all that. It's and still come out the other side of that as a perma bull, then I guess that's what I am. I'm pretty unshakable. I'm very convinced, based on the stuff that I read about elsewhere beyond Reddit, and I do dig the community that we have. I know a lot of people. You've probably heard people say, "Oh, I'm getting tired of Reddit. It's just all a bunch of nonsense moon boys and Lambo posts, and then the bears come in when we're in a downturn like we are now." And so I kind of try to respond to all of it equally. I like both sides of the opinions. There are obvious trolls for sure, just as much as there are obvious people that crap post. I'm not going to use the real word there because I do have kids that I teach that check out my YouTube channel, so I'm going to try to keep this PG for them. So let's begin. So if you didn't see this, I'm not going to read what I wrote, but basically it's just saying, I saw the drop all the way through 2014 with Bitcoin crashing from its all-time high. I'm a bag holder for projects that are completely dead. I didn't put that in there, but those are just facts. But I always wanted to find something beyond Bitcoin that I could do something with. And I feel like Ethereum was that answer. And I've been here for quite a while since finding out about that. The top comment, Floss PC writes he's doing research. Yeah, I hope we all are, right? I don't get all my news from the Daily, that's for sure. So that deserves to be a top comment. That was funny. Good. And then it goes on. Somebody tax exempt wrote down here in response to this thread about sometimes you need to take a step backward to get a giant leap forward. I agree with this right here. Companies are hiring anyone who says they know Solidity. It reminds me of HTML in the early 1990s. I fully agree with that. I was a kid of the 80s, and I got to play on this thing called the internet for the first time in the early 90s, and it was clunky and not that intuitive at first, but kids in middle school and high school, we started to kind of figure it out. I mean, back in the 80s, I remember our school had one computer on a cart that the teacher would wheel in, and we would play, oh gosh, what was the Oregon Trail game, right? We thought that was cool, but that was not connected to the internet, and it, had big 5 1/4 floppy. Anyway, so this does feel like Ethereum is just like back in the early days of HTML. Subdep, I love Subdep. He's a pretty funny guy. If you ever look at his charts that he draws on, says the bottom is in. The timing of those posts can be timed more perfectly. I'm going to disagree with that. I don't know that the bottom is in. By the way, this isn't financial advice. I'm not, I'm only speculating as a guy that's been around for a while. I'm not calling anything the bottom. It feels very bottomish. The volume's there, right? But I feel like it's a pretty safe zone. But I'm not going to call a hard bottom. Just when things start to feel gloomy is when the market turns upward. And then when it starts to feel euphoric, that's when the price turns downward. Well said. Well said. And this Kronok, I believe is how you pronounce it, he has a pretty good post talking about the owning up and getting onto it. You know, the point of making millions off of thousands of dollars of investment is just not happening. He says, get out and spend time at smaller vendors that take crypto. Go form packs for blockchain-friendly laws. Sitting on 5,000 at this ETH is pointless if functional adoption doesn't pick up. I agree with that. Adoption is really the key. Speculative hype and investment is not really the same. You know, the price is not really. We're still trying to figure out a price to all this. But actually using crypto for something, that's important. Not just vendors, but I think that we are seeing like a lot of interchanging between dApps back to ETH, back to the tokens. Okay, so there's a whole new economy emerging out of all this. This guy brought up an interesting point. Double bottom, 275 billion total crypto cap from mid-March. Okay. So think back to mid-March when we're double bottoming. The downtrend will meet the general upward trend set years ago. We will see what happens. That's kind of interesting. The total market cap is going to crash down to where it was a big uptrend just a few months ago. So we'll see. By this logic, it seems to be that despair is not set in yet because there's still posts like this. I'm never going to post a despair post, okay? I've been through the despair phase and watched a lot of my friends on EthTrader that sold, you know, they sold under $20 after the Dow crash, and they moved on to other projects or coins or just left crypto. I don't know if they even left crypto altogether. A lot of those guys are still around, you know, and it's okay. If it's not for you, then get out. It's fine. But this is good. Despair is not quite there yet, but you won't get a despair post out of me. I mean, something's got to really be broken. It adds up when JT Nichol is telling you he's been here since the Dow, and this guy is unshakable. The Dow was in June of 2016. I joined EthTrader in August of 2015. I was not part of the crowd sale, so, you know, I did buy off the exchanges and joined EthTrader when there was less than 500 people here, I believe. Good. This guy right here, Beer Belly, I love his posts. Whenever I see him, he's a Redditor that I follow. Oh, Subdep as well. He posted earlier. So this guy was saying they continue to bottom and then some. I was a follower of promising drug research project in Canada. The forums were filled with people trying to stoke flames long after the fire had died. And he responds, so crypto is over. We all go home now. EEA shuts down. Ethereum Foundation apologizes to everyone. Consensus fires 500 plus employees. Circle kills Poloniex. Coinbase stops its UK implementation. The entire city of Dubai switches to an SQL database. No. Difference is while everyone is wailing about falling prices, the devs continue to push forward, often in silence. This isn't a drug research lab. It's a global movement. Look at the meetups and hackathons in all parts of the world. They are usually sold out. Good point. E-Hot, solid pep talk. For everything amazing about the tech, there is a bug and a glitch that needs to be fixed. This platform still has a ways to go. There will be lots of trial and error before it gets done right. ETH and many other projects just fundraised boatloads of dollars to execute their vision, and now they must deliver. And let's just automatically get it out there right now. A lot of those guys that were fundraising ICOs are just scams from the get-go. Okay? Never underestimate the market to try to trade complete and utter trash for nothing more than profit. Okay. Many of the projects will burn and fail. Others will rise. So pick your horses wisely. And yes, ETH is at the top of my list. He goes on. I'm not going to read it all, but this market's still very young, highly emotional, and speculative. Bingo. Spot on. Liberty Mark. He got downvoted. He goes, TD Ameritrade and Wells Fargo have glitches weekly. Zero innovation in banking for years. Buy here and pray it goes lower. Okay? Liberty Mark's been around for a long time. Some take him as a troll. Some take him as a guy that just kind of speaks plain spoken truth. I just take him how he is from post to post. All right? Arista 81. Even if everything OP's post is true, what methodology is there to determine a fair value for ETH? What is the argument for why it deserves to be priced at $800, $1,000, $2,000, or whatever? This pocket Waylord guy says, is the platform worth $44 billion right now at 456 per ETH? I would argue that it'll be worth a lot more than that, considering the quality dApps that are going online, especially fintech-like products like Digix, MakerDAI, and Omisigo. The best dApps are yet to come and are nothing like we can imagine today. He goes on and talks about Zuckerberg and Facebook, you know, the cybersecurity realm. And in response to Arista, what is the argument? Why? How can it be, you know, priced at these levels? Number one is going to be, if they can get the proof of stake going, the coin supply annually is going to be quite small, like almost deflationary small. Some would argue that's not a good thing, but one thing is for sure is that once that coin total supply gets cut and then people are staking those coins, I'm wondering what that'll do to the liquidity on the exchanges. There's always going to be ETH traded, I'm sure. What I'm getting at is I see a potential future where scarcity becomes part of the value of the protocol, right? Not only that, all of the amazing tokens that are going to interoperate with it back and forth fluidly. Okay, what is the price for an entire decentralized ecosystem? That's the real question, where privacy could be a main factor. And by privacy, I'm not talking about, this is the thing that always bugs me about people that are dogging on privacy, is that it's only used for nefarious criminal activities. It's not. In fact, I would speculate in crypto, the number one use for moving your money around privately is so people can't steal it from you. And I'm not talking about the government. I'm talking about hackers, okay? Because keeping your address a secret and the way you manipulate money through this space, I think privacy is a huge concern, okay? For your own safety, okay? So in Ethereum, you know, along with Zcash and stuff like that, may have an answer for that. What is the price that you pay? Because look at the Equifax breach on the internet. Look at Home Depot and Target and all these millions and millions and millions of user information that has been exposed on the internet for hackers to exploit. It's happened to me personally very badly. And so I see an ecosystem. There's always going to be scammers, but at least you have a chance that you can really protect yourself and create your own version of what you want to see online. You know, think of the basic attention token. Pay me to look at your ad, buddy. You know, I don't want that pop-up, you know, the malware and everything like that. I think the Brave browser, for instance, it's epic. I use Brave all the time on mobile especially, but it works great with MetaMask. I mean, it's just an exciting ecosystem. So is it worth $44 billion currently? Please. Apparently it is, but that's just based on the total coins that are being traded right now. There's so many. If you go look at the wallet rich list on Etherscan, go look at the number of wallets that have 100,000 Ether in there that haven't moved since the crowd sale back in 2015. Go look at it. It'll astonish you. The number of wallets that have never ever touched the internet. People know what they're doing, I think. This isn't for, I know this is a trading sub, so I'm not talking to the day traders. I'm talking to the people that are invested not just in the coin but also in the space as well, that are really listening to what's going on. This isn't something that came out 2 years ago to be done in 3 years, right? I think the developers are here for as long as the platform wants them to be, and it seems like it's never going away. That's just me. Excuse me. Yo, day, yo. These posts are just fuel for this hope echo chamber. There are no logical arguments, but at least they feel better. Good enough for me. That's fine. I'm an echo chamber. I'm an echo chamber to myself. No one else. All right. And then the other argument for the pricing, the argument is 18 decimal places. It's worth what people will pay for it. That's it in a nutshell. I know that's all you can go off of. Okay? I'm responding to Arista81. That's all you could go off of. Why it deserves to be priced at whatever. Maybe it deserves to be priced under $1,000 this year. And then maybe that valuation changes next year. Fine. Good. And today they pay 450 USD in 5 years. Maybe they will pay 200 USD. This is PMPG. Just because it has a lower value today or this year doesn't mean it automatically means more adoption equals a higher price in the future. That's right. Everything might already be priced in. Maybe not. I tell you what's not priced in is all of the news that we've been hearing. Personally, that's my opinion. I can't imagine that all of this news that we've been hearing has been priced in. Why did the bubble burst? I don't know, because the wind changed direction, and the big boys decided it was time to turn on the bots and go to Pain Town. Some people speculate people were cashing out to pay their tax bills from last year. Okay, just remember the U.S. isn't the only country in the United States. Okay. Who knows why it went down? It just did. It was an enormous rocket upwards, and it's getting repriced right now. Okay, it may go lower. Who knows? But the development's going up, and a lot of these companies with deep pockets are paying six-figure salaries to anybody who can code in Solidity. All right, this guy Antonomon, oh whatever. All of the future time is priced in. The ultimate FUD. Yeah, we've seen priced in posts a lot. And that's in his response to PMPG. Yep. So, and then PMPG down here, he says, when I'm using the term priced in, it's speculating because no one can know whether something is really priced in. I use the term in a speculative manner. I agree with you, sir. Definitely. All right. Let's see. This was a direct response to me. I mostly agree with your story, but if ETH fails to scale, we will have a problem. That is the elephant in the room. I think that things can run on Ethereum in the meantime, and it's still a very good, quick chain, and it's decentralized. I mean, there's so many nodes out there that even if it doesn't solve scaling, in the near future, I really have a lot of faith in these teams to come up with scaling. Funfair, I have to say this just from a technical standpoint. Yes, I am a coin holder, but I also pay attention to that project. I'm not recommending anybody buy their token. This isn't about trying to pump anything. Go read about the Fate channels. They have an awesome system where the player will pay the gas fee to enter a gaming session, and they can play as many games as they want on the same slot machine or on the same deck of cards, card table, poker game, or whatever as they want. Hundreds of games, thousands of games if they want. They could sit there for a week and play it nonstop. And then when they go to cash out, the house pays the gas fee to close that channel. It's called a Fate channel. One gas fee in, one gas fee out. Play as many times as you want. That's all that gets paid. And then that transaction gets bundled and sent to the public chain. Well, there's a solution, right? That is one company's vision for a solution to scaling. Is it scaling directly on the protocol itself for Ethereum? No. But it is a company that is developing the Fate channel, and it seems to be working pretty good on the testnet to solve how to bundle up a lot of different transactions into one transaction so you're not bogging down the network with. You don't want to wait 30 seconds to spin the wheel, all right? You can just keep playing, and then cash out, and then, you know, it gets sent to the public chain. That's just one company. There's Plasma, there's sharding, there's, you know, there are teams of people, and I believe the Ethereum Foundation is releasing funds and bounties to help make scaling the focus. I had read a Medium article recently where, you know, a few months ago, the Ethereum Foundation was more concentrated on another project, don't remember offhand, but now, like, the shift in the focus has been like, okay, we got to get to scaling. There's obviously demand for this. You know what the demand is from? It's not from the price. The demand is from the developers trying to create products for the ecosystem. And really, when I say ecosystem, I'm just saying for average mom and pops out there to, you know, do this new thing, this new version of the internet, okay? But yes, you're right. If it fails to scale, we have a problem. There you go. Okay. Chayla, hopefully I said that, or chill, yeah. Can someone expand on the on and on and on, where I was talking about the vision of an Ethereum future and, you know, the idea of pegging to gold, the makers die, all these things. It says, give me a vision of the ETH future, like fast forward 15 to 20 years. Scaling solutions are in place. Proof of stake works like a charm. Transaction costs virtually zero. How does Ethereum affect the average person or corporation? What can I do now that I couldn't do way back in 2018 when I should have bought ETH? Let's play devil's advocate. Okay? He goes on, presents a great argument, right? Or not even an argument, just a great question, a great series of questions, okay? Trying to identify exactly what Ethereum is and why. What is the future 15 to 20 years from now? I want you to go right now and find Dunning-Kruger's, okay? Dunning-Kruger's response to this. He has been on EthTrader for a long time. Super knowledgeable guy, okay? I love reading his posts. He's always well researched. He provides lots of opportunities for proof. Go check it out, because his posts, he has all kinds of links to several different things. All right. I just can't. I think this one single post right here, where he responds to the question of fast forwarding 15 to 20 years, I think it's just one of the most incredible posts that I've seen of late. There's some other things in here. This video is super long. I apologize. One of the important parts of using a blockchain for companies is they can show their customers that what they state is true, that the food was never above -5 centigrade, that the chicken never got antibiotics, that the casino game was 100% fair, okay, that the money you donated did end up in Africa, that this freelance worker has done these projects, etc. Blockchain is the immutable proof that A happened and B was the result, okay? I mean, it's pretty hard to fake a transaction like that. I love that post. This guy says, I'd be silent weapon, quiet war. I'd be completely shocked if ETH was still a main player in 15 years. It just seems like all of this tech is still on the cusp and likely to evolve and change quite rapidly. I want to follow up with the evolve and change quite rapidly, because the whole vision of Ethereum by Vitalik and Vlad and Dr. Gavin Wood and the whole team actually was, if you go back and look at the old videos, they were all into Bitcoin and they were wanting to do things like a smart contract on Bitcoin, but the code was never going to allow for it, and so they basically decided to build it themselves. And early on, Vitalik thought that a good quality smart contract blockchain ought to be able to do like 3 or 4 things. And then what quickly happened was they started to see that they could actually do a lot of these other things as well, and started adding to the collection of tools and answering what people wanted, right? These are the scientists, these are the researchers. They were listening to what developers were trying to do, and they were implementing ways through all the different releases to make it possible for people to code in a way that kept things moving forward without limits. If you look at the mind share of development over the existence of Ethereum, it's grown exponentially. Okay, I feel like the Ethereum Foundation, the lead researchers, they can tweak the code for Ethereum to accommodate pretty easily, whereas a lot of the other smart contract platforms are either copycats or that are just not going to have, I feel like, the mind swell that Ethereum has currently. Okay, that's just my opinion, but you're right, nobody knows 15 years from now. Okay, look, I love the tech. This is Silent Weapon, Quiet War again. But to pretend like the price value of ETH isn't wholly dictated by speculation is ignorant. I doubt more than 5% of investors, yes, pulling that statistic out of nowhere, actually care what it does, or what it is, or what it does. They're just looking at candlestick patterns. You're right. This is a trading sub. A lot of people are trading. I have a friend of mine that specifically traded Ethereum because he wanted to make money shorting it. He didn't care one single bit about it long term. He was buying in at $700, $800, $900, and I think he sold, you know, wherever at the top. And I don't know that I don't even know if he's bought back in yet. All right, people do trade for that. There are a lot of people that don't care, but I don't really consider them investors. I mean, I look at investors as people who believe in a product. I look at traders as people who trade for profit. And I'm not disparaging traders. I want people to, if their motive is money, U.S. dollars or fiat, then trade away, right? We need people to provide liquidity. If they're going to bring dollars in and play the roulette, then go for it. The crypto market is super spicy and fun and addictive, really, for people that have gone from Forex trading to crypto. There's a few of those guys that are in here as well. Yeah, I don't disparage the traders, margin traders. You go do you. That's fine. All right. Crypto division. The tech, while interesting, means nothing to the investor. They only care about returns. Yep. It's not any different in any financial market. That's right. Okay. It's good. I think that was about it. There's, I think, one more down here. Posts like this make you feel better, but it won't change the fact that crypto is going down and it has zero prospect of getting anywhere close to the all-time high until significant tech advancements come out, which won't be for a really long time. And Skeletubbies says, define really long time. And he responds, probably not until somewhere in mid or late 2019. Oh, okay. So defining really long time is the difference between a 15-minute chart and a day chart, right? If a year is a really long time to come back up to all-time high, you know, I would be surprised if it took a year to do it, but I would also not be shocked, right? That's, you know, sometimes these bear trends can last a while. I personally don't think it's going to take a year. That's me. All right. That's just me. The pipe bomb, 3 months. Summertime is the spicy time. I'm telling you, it's proven that, at least for 2017, 2018, or 2017. 2016, summertime was the Dow, hack. So anyway, I'm going to end it right there. You guys, Be safe out there, traders. Have a good time. I really appreciate you commenting, and I know this was a super long video, so if you're still watching this, I appreciate you. I don't accept any donations. I'm not going to tell you to subscribe or hit the like button. This was just me talking to you. So anyway, cheers, and big hugs from Kansas City.